Hello YouTube, thought I'd do a quick video here. I made a GMRS 2A radio mobile antenna. If you saw my other video, I had another version of that one, but I made a little bit better one. This one right here, I just unscrewed the antenna that came with it. I ended up brazing a square tubing from here to the top of this is 5.5 inches. And then the total length without the base, bottom of the nut here to the top of this antenna is 16 inches. This is a telescopic antenna like you see on those old AM and FM radios. You can slide it right and down. I did end up putting on a T-handle, so if I don't need a tool to take this out and put a steel rod in there. So that's what I did there. Like I said, this right here is from here to here is 16 inches, which I'm going to go in the car here, and my SWRs are 1.01. I'm going to show you this. Also, too, just to let you know, if you go to the web, if you go to the internet and you look up antenna calculators, I posted some of them in my links, and the length of that antenna on the car here, my mobile antenna, is in between a 5/8 wave and 3/4 wave. A 5/8 wave at the frequency I'm using is actually 1 foot and 3 inches, which is about 15 inches. The 3/4 wave antenna is 1 foot and 6 inches, which is about 17 inches. I measured 16 inches for my antenna on my car, and I think the reason being the difference is because, remember, the websites are using grounding rods or using ground plane rods for the ground plane. On a car, you got the whole metal roof as a ground plane. So I think that's the difference on why my measurements is 16 inches and I'm falling in between two different types of antennas, if that makes any sense. I believe the Midland antenna that you can buy, that's a magnet mount, well, you can put the antenna on a magnet mount. The Midland antenna, mobile antenna, I believe, I can't remember if that was a 3/8 or a 3/4 inch wave or 5/8 wave. I think it does say in the specs. I don't remember which one it was. But that one, I think they said does 6 dBi. So now that one has a coil, but again, mine does not have no coils in it. Mine's a straight antenna, as you saw. Now I'm going to show you this, and yes, I'm going to make a note of this because I'm going to, I mentioned this before. This SWR meter does work correctly when you're doing higher wattage. But I am going to recheck it with my analog, but I just don't have it right here with me. But I get 1.01 SWR on that antenna. Now I'm going to show you something that's kind of interesting. We talked about this before. I got the amplifier hooked up, as you can see, and the car is not running. Look how low my wattage is when the car does not run. I'm going to key this up. Let me go ahead and plug this in. Okay, we're going to key this up. I get, what is that, about 19 watts. I can't hold the phone and do it at the same time. Let me see if I can get this to focus better. Focus. Okay. I think it says, I can't read it, 18. I can't read it from here. Hopefully you guys can read that. So when I start the car up, watch how much higher it jumps. Now watch. 25, 26, 27. Big difference when the car's running. So that shows you need the car running if you want full power. If I turn the car off and I key it up, 21, 20. So right there, that's good proof. But I'm getting 1.01 SWR on that homemade antenna. I am going to try to tune. I bought the antenna that came with the mobile mount. I paid $20 for this antenna. Let me focus this. This maiden mount. It came with for 20 bucks. You get the coax, you get the maiden mount, and the antenna. I figured for 20 bucks the maiden and the coax is worth that. So here's the antenna that came with it. This is a dual band antenna. I'll post a link to this, but I'm going to have to trim this down. I'm going to have to cut it. And I can take this tip off here, and I'll just take a Dremel tool and just do like an 1/8 inch at a time. This is a dual band antenna, supposedly. This does the VHF and UHF. I forget what the frequencies were, but I'll post a link to this. But there's no coil. I don't have a coil in this. It's just a regular fitting. And that thread size, if you want to know, the thread size on this is an M6, and the pitch is 1.00 is the pitch. So that's what I did. I took a nut, and once I figured out the pitch of this, I was able to go buy a nut at the hardware store, and I brazed it. Now, I told you that that's brazing that I showed you. That's not soldering. There's a difference. Brazing is stronger than solder. I use steel. In my other videos, when I was using brass tubing, you can use solder will stick to brass tubing. If you clean off the brass with the fine sandpaper, she'll stick to that. I'm using a steel tubing, and everything is steel, so I had to braze it. So the brazing's a form of welding with a flame, a settling torch. So that's the difference. I'm going to show you that one more time. Some of you may not know that, but it's different than soldering. Let me go back out here and show you, because I don't know if I really told you that before or not. But if you look at that, that's why it looks like gold. It's brazing. You can see it kind of, the sun's kind of setting now, but you can see it. That let me see if I can focus there. That's why it looks kind of goldish. It's brazing, not soldering, just to be clear on that. And I had to do that because this is steel, and solder doesn't really stick to steel real well, so I brazed it. And so I know I have a very good connection. Brazing's a lot stronger than soldering. So that's what that is. And I can pop this off by turning that handle. I can put a steel rod in there if I want to change that out, and I don't want the telescopic antenna. I can change that out. But anywho, like I said, we're kind of in between a 5/8 wave and a 3/4 inch wave. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how good this antenna is going to work. What I want to do, and I don't know if I can do this, I want to tune, if I can, I want to tune the store-bought antenna to get as low SWRs as possible, and then we're going to do a distance test, and I'll switch out the antennas and see if there's a difference. This antenna that I bought, like I said before, does not tell me in the specs about any gain. So I don't know if it's just a real low gain. Usually antennas tell you at least a gain, but that one that I bought does not tell you. Like I said, I'll post a link down below, but I couldn't find nothing about gain. So, but yeah. At any rate, I just want to show that with you. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. Please subscribe. Thank you, and have a good day.